Hi everyone, welcome back to my podcast Ask Moon Teacher, where I answer your formal questions in an informal way. So today in this episode, which is a part of a series which will deal with USMLE exam and all the details about it, I have three wonderful guests here. So welcome back everyone to the second part of this podcast where we are talking in detail about the various aspects of USMLE exam. In this episode, we are going to talk about the resources that are required when you consider taking USMLE exams, whether it's step 1, 2 or 3. So I would like to ask this question to all of you. It's an open question and any one of you can take it up. What are the resources that are essential and what are the resources that are considered a luxury when you're preparing for all these steps in USMLE?
Okay, so starting with step 1, I think the best way to go about it, if you know right from the beginning what you want to do, just while you are following along with the coursework in medical school, you also, give some time to the USMLE related resources. So just follow the textbook that the rest of your batch is following. And on the side, just to understand the concepts a little better, which you need for USMLE, you can, listen to Kaplan videos or actually for step 1, there's a thing called UFAP. So it's UWorld, FA is first aid and P is Pathoma. So these are the cardinal resources in my opinion that everybody should be doing. And beyond this, what you choose to do is based on your interest and what you like and what you need. So if you are someone who really reads the standardized textbooks and gets the concepts very well, you might not need any of the other things and you can just make do with UFAP. But if you don't really do that, you sleep in class and you need help with concepts, you can do boards and beyond or Kaplan or any of the other resources that explain things in detail. And then of course you have to come back to UFAP at the end of the day and do those really well and give the exam.
So Dr. Rhythm, you have scored a very good score in step 1,
Thank
right?
you, sir. Yeah. So I would like to suggest, I completely agree with what Dr. Lakshmi has just said. UFAP is the single most important resources that you can use. Apart from that, if you feel that you are weak in microbiology or pharmac, you can use Sketchy Micro or Sketchy Pharmac for that. Those are just video-based learning resources that are available. Even though I did not have the time in my hands to use them, you can if you are a visual learner, you should definitely try it out and learn from them because these are volatile subjects and it really helps you to retain micro and pharmac if you use Sketchy. So yeah, apart from that, UFAP is amazing. Like it does the deed well. Yeah.
I would like to add a point to what Dr. Rhythm has said. Starting from May 2020, step 1 is going to become a different sort of exam. There are going to be more number of questions which are going to focus on communication and ethics. And so you have to have your base knowledge of ethics. And for this, I would like to recommend Dr. Conrad Fisher's 100 Cases of Ethics. It's a wonderful book. And even if you do not go ahead with USMLE, this book will guide you even through your residency and through later in life. It's a wonderful book. I highly, highly recommend it.
Alright, so to summarize what you have said is for step 1, in standard resources are your UFAP where UWorld, First Aid and Pathoma. These are the essentials that you need and everything above that is a luxury. If you can get it. If you can't, it's okay.
Yes.
Now what about step 2, CK, CS?
So for step 2 CK, again, the must-do resource is UWorld. And in my opinion, if you do UWorld properly like twice, you will be in a really good place. And unlike step 1 where we have really good resources that you can count on like First Aid and Pathoma, we unfortunately don't really have a great reliable resource for step 2 CK. There are a lot of options like step up to step 2 CK or step up to medicine or master the boards step 2 and step 3. All of these can be used for step 2 CK, but I did not find any of them all that helpful in the process. I feel step up to medicine is too much of information and you'll get bogged down by the details. And Master the Boards is too less information. I mean, I don't know, I think it doesn't help much. But still, you can just read Master the Boards as an initiation into UWorld, just so you have this kind of feeling that you did something. But at the end of the day, what matters is UWorld. So,
do you agree with this, Dr. Gargi, because you have taken step 2 CK?
I absolutely agree with you, except I felt that when I gave my UWorld self-assessment, it scored higher and I scored lower on the actual exam. So for me, I guess maybe because I've taken it fairly recently, the UWorld was not enough. I felt like I needed something more than UWorld. And unfortunately, you're absolutely right. We just don't have enough good resources out there.
So there are people who just do UWorld and score, 260 and stuff like that. And there are also people who felt UWorld was not enough and they went and did something called CMS forms. I'm not entirely sure how it works because I myself did not do it. But I also did not finish one whole round of UWorld, which is why I fell short of my score. But I agree with Gargi about the self-assessments being really off when it comes to step 2 CK. My actual score was 15 points lower than my self-assessments. So that is true, but I still feel UWorld is pretty, because I did not finish one round of UWorld for my exam because I just had to take it due to some reason. So I felt if I had given it 2 rounds, I would have hit my goal score, but I don't know why we are having different opinions on the matter. So
what about you, Rhythm?
So I haven't yet started preparing for step 2 CK. So this was quite a very helpful discussion for me. What Dr. Gargi and Dr. Lakshmi have just said. I'll just stick to UWorld and try out Master the Boards and see what works for me.
Right, so like you said, the accuracy or the reliability of U1 resources to predict your score is much higher compared to the resources available for step 2 CK.
I'm just comparing this with step 1, where I have personally felt that the self-assessments are on the spot. My last week's self-assessment, I took 2 exams, one NBME, the latest NBME, and the second UWorld assessment, and both of them predicted the exact score that I got on my real exam. Compared to compared to step 2, where I took the similar exams like NBME, latest, and UWorld 2, and they were 15 points short of the real score, which is obviously really disappointing. So, yeah.
So we are not rock solid in terms of resources for step 2. We only have UWorld to go with. What about step 2 CS?
So step 2 CS, first aid is a pretty good resource to read along in the beginning when you just need to, get the hang of how the process works and just get an understanding of how to prepare for CS, how things work and all of that. And beyond that, there are a lot of resources which are available on Facebook groups called Shirazi Notes and a lot of other notes. There are many options available, but I think the most common one is Shirazi Notes. So, and I think more than anything else, the most important thing for CS is finding a study partner and practicing. So, at the end of the day, that's the most important resource. So you just need to find somebody to practice with and get the hang of taking cases and, also practice typing.
One thing I would like to add to what Dr. Lakshmi has just said is use first aid for step 2 CS. I think it's a very good baseline book that it gives you the pro forma, it gives you how the actor who's going to be playing the
standardized
SP,
patient.
yeah, what the SP is going to be like and the kind of checklist that the SP might have. So I think, first aid for step 2 CS.
What about step 3? Do you have any specific suggestions for step 3?
I think I got a decent score on step 3. In general, people don't try to overachieve when it comes to step 3 because it's not a make or break thing like it is for step 1 and CK. So as long as you get a decent score, unless you're vying for a really competitive specialty later, it doesn't really matter as long as you pass the exam. So most people just do the bare minimum for step 3 and take the exam, and I got more than the bare minimum with just UWorld. So I think UWorld is all you need for step 3. And some people also do the ccscases.com cases for the CCS cases. And I have not personally used it, so I cannot really talk much about it, but a lot of people do it. I just did UWorld, and that was it. And I felt that was sufficient.
So to summarize everything that you've talked in terms of resources, for step 1, the standard baseline is UWorld, First Aid and Pathoma. And for step 2 and step 3, again, you have mostly UWorld. And for step 3, you also have ccs.com. Right. So I think that summarizes all the resources that a student would require.
So I would like to make a point. Dr. Lakshmi just talked about having a study partner for step 2 CS. I would suggest that even if you could find a study partner for the other steps, it works great. Like I had a few study partners with me for step 1 and it worked wonders for me. They kept me on track and I had someone to be accountable. Like I had to be accountable to them. So it really helps you, it keeps you determined, and find someone who you can share your journey with. They keep you motivated and they keep you on track.
However, if your study partner is slacking, then you need to change your study partner. Period.
Right. Yeah. So I think this is where I would just want to plug in a video that I made, I think a few years ago when I started my YouTube journey. And in that video, I talked about the pros and cons of group study. So do check it out. I have enlisted all the pros and cons of studying in groups. And I suggest a group should just be a group of 2 or 3
Agreed.
people. Unlike what we usually end up making in India, we make a parliament of 400 people and all of them sit around and
That becomes
waste
a
a lot of
hangout
time.
rather than group study.
Absolutely.
Oh my God,
Yes, and
yes.
that does happen a lot. So you have to be very careful in selecting your partners who you are going to study with, because just like Jim Rohn, he says that you are an average of the 5 people that you hang out with.
Wonderful.
So with that, I would like to conclude this podcast. Thank you all of you for discussing the study material and resources for all the steps for USMLE. I'll see you guys in the next episode where we take on another topic of USMLE.
Thank you.